What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and we're going to talk about Episode 5 of Life is Strange Season 2 right now. And I'm going to get right into it. I just want to quickly start this video off by saying I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say some pretty mean things. Let's try and keep it, as PG-13 as we can, and let's try and just understand everybody's ability to be able to judge this game. What I want to say about this game is a lot of things. We actually live streamed this game. I did a Let's Play of it. The entire video is on our channel. If you guys want to go check that out, see what I was talking about with the game real time, you can totally do that. And I talked about basically everything I want to talk about in this video in that. But I just want to kind of summarize and put it all together. This has been the worst episode of Life is Strange. No game has made me so angry and has been so stupid in the many ways that Life is Strange 2 has been. Specifically with Episode 5, it starts from the beginning and it just goes straight through the end. The beginning is boring. The beginning is empty. The beginning relies on nostalgia with David, Max, and Chloe to really push it through. Now, it depends on the ending you chose of Season 1. I guess there's spoilers here, but don't watch this if you haven't played it. That was really good. Talking to David was really awesome. At the same time, it made me angry because they're just going off of nostalgia. They just want you to feel some emotions from the first season. And to be honest with you, it was the only good moment in the entirety of Episode 5. The bad of Episode 5 was truly the worst I think I've ever played in any game. I don't think the entire episode was absolute disastrous. I think most of it was. But from how bad it was, okay, let's go over some things. Let's skip to the end. No matter what happens, Daniel is safe, pretty much, especially if you choose to go through the wall at the end. Daniel will still get arrested twice, because you get arrested twice in this episode. He'll get arrested, but he will remain free because you can't be tried for being a 10-year-old, even though we've killed, we've destroyed countless things in our journey as these two. These two are villains. These two are bad people, and the game routinely makes it sound like they're okay. It's justified. It's fine. They're doing it for a good cause. These two are bad people. Some things are decisions that we've made as players. Some things are decisions that the game has made. But in no circumstance should these two get off scot-free. And they can. Especially if you choose, again, that ending, Daniel ends up with the grandparents. And Sean goes to Mexico, but then for some reason hangs out with Lila, like, on occasion. Does he come back to America to do that? Or does Lila go to Mexico? Is there still a gaping hole in the border wall? I don't know. And if you do that, the game is pointless from beginning to end. The whole point of Life is Strange 2 was that you kill the cop by accident and you're running. You're running to get away from it because they're not going to understand. And yet at the end, everybody knows that Daniel has powers. And yet you're going to let this super-powered kid, who, by the way, has never showed any signs of being good, has only showed signs of being evil. So you can look at it like from a Brightburn situation. Anybody see that movie? It's like the dark take of Superman. If he came into this world and he was an evil person and he's a child, it would be like that. You know he has superpowers. You know he poses a threat. Why is he allowed to just do things? Why is Daniel allowed to just go with the parents? Because he's 10 and he can't be tried under, like, the law. The law shouldn't apply to people with superpowers, right? So you got that. Now, I know the ending can change based off of whatever. You would end up picking him up from jail, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter. It's absolutely pointless. And that was just the ending. Ending anticlimactic, garbage, waste of time, waste of the episode, waste of the season. You didn't do a single goddamn thing from beginning to end. You went into a circle. You went in a complete circle to get from where you were. Because no matter what, if you would have just stayed in Seattle, by the way, let's talk about this. If after Daniel murdered the cop, if you would have stayed there and they would have went up to Sean and say, "Who did this?" And Sean said, "Oh, it was my brother Daniel." And he has superpowers, by the way. You want him to show you? Want him to move a rock for you? And then Daniel and then they would have said, "Well, we can't take your word for it. Hey, Daniel, do you have superpowers?" And he said, "Yeah, let me move this rock for you." Okay, if that would have happened, Sean wouldn't have had anything happen to him because he didn't do it. And Daniel still would have been in the same situation as before. Daniel was 10 years old at that time, maybe 9 because there's been a lot of time jumps, but he still was a kid, so he couldn't be tried in terms of under the law for murdering his dad. So, or murdering the cop who murdered his dad. So he would have been off scot-free. So if they would have just stayed in Seattle, none of this goddamn game would have happened because they would have been completely free. It's what I have been saying to you guys for over a year. It was pointless. There was no reason to leave, and the game didn't give us a good enough reason for it. And in fact, it made itself known by the ending. The ending showed that no matter what, it wouldn't have mattered what you did in episode 1. There was no actual good reason for leaving the scene of the crime. There was no good reason for leaving in general. You could have stayed there. Like, that's just it. And I said that in the beginning of after episode 1 came out. I said, why did they leave? Why couldn't they have just stayed and tried to explain things? It would have made sense. Who cares if they didn't believe that he had power? Move a goddamn rock for them, or move a car or something. Do something to show them that they have powers. So the ending, just complete garbage. One other thing I want to talk about that just, I mean, if you can watch the live stream, you can see me, you can hear me get visibly very, very loud and upset, is the racism and the wall. I don't care what political ideology you have. I don't. I could care less. But let me tell you something. If you're going to put politics into a game, represent both sides. Don't paint a picture that's just one color. And Don't Nod has never been able to do that, and they've lost all confidence in me that they ever will. The game only shows one side. Wall, bad. Why is there no wall in the north, Sean? Why is there no wall blocking America from Canada? I don't know. Why is there a wall here? I don't know. It's just a wall. It's just how it is. Then we have, when we actually go into the police center, we have the two illegals, the Mexican couple with a child, and I predicted it in the live stream. I said, watch what they're gonna make us do. They're gonna make us feel sorry for them because they're pregnant. They're gonna make us feel bad that they got arrested because they tried to enter the U.S. illegally. And then what do you hear from them? Oh, we are just trying to have a better life. We're just trying to work. We don't want to live for you. We don't want you guys to pay for us. We just want to go over there and work and earn our mark. Oh, but we came over illegally 3 times, by the way. Oh, but this administration is different, so that's why we got arrested this time. And they said that. There's your direct attack against Trump. I don't care. Again, you could like Trump, you could hate Trump. There are people who like Trump that play this game. There are people that don't like Trump that play this game. Represent both. Then you have the racist rednecks who are overly racist. Nobody is monitoring the wall like that, by the way. Nobody is just sitting in their car 5 feet from the wall ready to shoot somebody that opens a gaping hole in it, which, by the way, they knew that those brothers did something, but they didn't know that they were the ones who created that wall, even though they were literally parked like right there. And again, who are these people? And again, very racist. They assume that they're going to let in the illegals to cross to America, although that is not actually that over, like, I get they're trying to smear them. They're trying to smear, if you think that you're a bad guy. But in reality, what else is it supposed to look like? You have these 2 kids. They're standing in front of a gaping hole in the border wall where there are no other holes. So clearly something happened. Like, there was some explosion. There was some supernatural thing that happened. What else are you supposed to think? Obviously, they're trying to have a path for people to cross. I would think that. I think and if you don't think that, then you turned your brain off and you got to turn it back on. So, like, that's not even that it's not even racist at all. I don't care. If you want to call me racist in the comments, go ahead. You'll look like the idiots because it's just not true. But, like, that is what anybody would have assumed. But, again, they paint it as, well, they're the bad guys. Then when they're in the jail cell, again, they say, oh, you'll all get free rides, and we'll have to pay for your health care and stuff, which, by the way, a lot of that stuff does actually happen. I don't get the racism in that. That's just what tends to happen. It made me absolutely furious. And, again, Daniel destroys the entire, back to like my first point, he destroyed the entire freaking building. He technically didn't kill anybody, but then he flipped cars towards the border. You're telling me this 10-year-old child, although he can't be tried because he's 10 years old, he's allowed to kill people, he's allowed to have destruction of property, he's allowed to destroy federal buildings and injure all of those in it, but he is not allowed to get arrested for that? Like, what kind of rules is this game pretending that we have? They're trying to be realistic with, we got to let every illegal come into America, because that's clearly, by the way, they're obviously pro-illegals. They want illegals. That's just what they've shown, because, again, they try and make it go. And then, by the way, last thing. As you're leaving that place, and if you've played this game, you know this, but I wanna like focus in on it. They give you the option that you can free both the couples, and they make it sound like when they're talking that, oh, we should, I mean, look at these two. I believe Sean's words were, they were thrown in jail for trying to cross. They were trying to come to America from Mexico, and they got thrown in jail. We should, like, they don't deserve that. Yes, they do. They're illegals. I don't care that they're pregnant. I don't care. They broke the law. I don't care what your opinion of the law is. I said this in the live stream. I would use a different example. Stealing. Stealing is illegal. It doesn't matter if you have a personal preference that you think stealing can be good sometimes. If you steal, that is illegal. You face the consequences. Okay, transfer that over. I don't care if you agree that illegals should be, I don't care if you agree or disagree that illegals should or shouldn't be able to cross. If it's the rules, you follow them. If you don't follow them, there are punishments. And that's just how life is. That's how the world works. That's how you keep some form of order in the world. Because if you break that rule, then you can break any rule. Why don't you come open my door to my house? Come and just break and enter. Because if you have if you think that that's okay, well then go ahead, just do it to everybody and see what happens to you. By the way, but go ahead and try it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm not making fun of you guys. I'm just testing your thought. Like, I think that makes sense. Go ahead and test that idea out. That's how these things work. But again, they make you seem like that you should pity them. And then when it comes to the rednecks, like, I agree with that. I mean, they shot you. They shot Daniel in the shoulder. They shouldn't be. I mean, they should go to jail, but also the illegals should. And by the way, Sean and Daniel should get back in that cell too, because they are also rule breakers. They're law breakers. These guys are villains. This game sucks. This episode sucked. There was so many bad things about it. They shoved politics down your throat. They didn't care to show the other side of it. Just all racism, all anti-Trump, all anti just anything like that. So if you like Trump, you're going to be just like me. You're going to hate this game. And it's not even, that's only half of it, by the way. Also, the game just sucked. It was just bad. The storytelling, the plot, Sean and Daniel's voice, especially Sean, just continues to just be a terrible, terrible acted character. Though I mean, the lines were bad too, but him in terms of acting, just absolutely awful. He's just a bad voice actor. And then you had the ending, which basically rendered the entire season absolutely goddamn pointless. This episode was awful. This season was episode. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it. And that's it. I'm ending this video. I cannot believe what they did to Life is Strange. Truly disgusting, truly awful. Don't Nod should be ashamed of themselves.